Learn how to display a newly created task on the web page. In this lesson, we will add our created task to on other list so that user can actually see their task. When we added a way to create new elements using the create element method in JavaScript and inspect it in our browser console, I forgot to mention that even though you are seeing listing li outside, this already contains the task content. See, if you come down, let me increase the size of this so that you can see clearly. Now you see, if you look at it, you can see the first child, that is the content of what we have inside our task is already being appended into that listing item that is created, which is this part of our code. You see li.text content equals to task. So to take the task and then write it into the listing element, which is what you can see here in the properties of that listing item. So we want to look at how we can actually render our task so that user can actually see it. So let's move on. One thing I want us to note is that creating an HTML element doesn't automatically display it on the page, just as we experienced with the create element method in JavaScript. We need to explicitly add it to another element that is on the web page. So that is when it will now be visible for users to see whatever that they add as part of their task. So think of this like writing a note. Creating a note isn't enough. You still have to pin it to a notice board if you are a teacher or an instructor before everyone can see it. So our other listing that we have in our code is the notice board, and the listing, which is the li, is the note. So what that means is that this is our notice board. So inside it, we now want to put those tasks to be the child of this one other listing. So that's what we basically want to do in this example. So let's move on and let's just dive into the code straight. So I will first of all take this console.log out because I don't need it anymore. This time, if I click on add task, the web page is still loading. You can see it's down here. So if I click on add task now, you can see that there's nothing displaying. And if we inspect, and I clear this, let me reduce the size and click on add task, you can see that the li that was displayed before has disappeared. So now let's now undo it in a proper way. So now that we are, taking the task and appending it to our listing item using the text content property, let's now add that list item to the another list. Since we already have a UL inside this place with a variable of task list, which is what is targeting our another list, let's append that to the list item that we already have. So how are we going to do it? Well, you just pick the variable that is housing whatever is returned from the ID of our other listing, and then you write into it. So we call it task list. You can see it. This is the variable that is holding the ID that is returned from the UL, and then you append the child to it. So what I'm basically saying here is that when you need to append a child to an element in JavaScript, you make use of a method called append child. So that append child, what it basically does is that it will take whatever element you want to append and it will attach it to an already existing element. In our case, what we want to append is the listing item, which is the li, and we want to append it to an already existing item on the web page, which is our UL on other listing. So if you look at the description that is written for the append child, you can see it. The append child method of the node interface adds a node to the end of the list of children of a specified parent node. So in this example now, our UL, which is the order listing, is going to be the parent, while the listing that I want to append to it now is now going to be the child element of that parent element. So I'll select that method. And what do I want to append? I want to append a listing element. So I'll put it this way. And oh, sorry, I think there's a mistake. There's no codes around it. So can go ahead. Let's try and click this. And you can see going for summer vacation, visiting my grandma, going for my project defense. And gradually you can see that successfully we are adding our tags to our web page, and whatever that is typed inside what we have is being is being displayed on the web page, as you can see in this example. So we successfully use the append child method to add that list item to our order list, and then the task list variable represents the order list, like I said, while the listing represents the new list item. So when we call this method task list dot append child, JavaScript inserts the new task into the list and it immediately appears on the page. And that is the reason why you are beginning to see this on the web page. So far so good. We just learned how we can display tags on the page. So if you have thousands or hundreds of tags, you can easily add them, and then it will continue to appear on the web page so that you can see what you are entering as a particular task in time. So far so good. We have come to a significant portion or a significant part of our to-do list app. And in this lesson, we just learned how we can display tasks on the page.